All right, in this video, I'm going to give you a nice deep overview of an E5 campaign. I want you to understand the different components of this unique type of campaign. I want you to see what each component is doing and why we're doing it. I want you to have a glimpse into the type of campaign that we're going to be putting together for your business, because I want you to understand what makes it so powerful, what makes it so effective at turning cold prospects into excited new buyers for you. And so buckle up. Everything that I'm going to share with you in this overview video, everything that I'm going to explain and demonstrate for you, you're going to learn how to do, we're going to be doing together. And so have no fear if there's a piece or part of this that you really want to drill deeper on, we're absolutely going to be doing that. Now, the first thing that I want you to understand as it relates to an E5 campaign is, first and foremost, this is the fancy pants timeline. This timeline right here represents the core of your E5 campaign. Now, the first thing that I want you to grasp is that 75% of your E5 campaign, 75% of what we do and show and present and demonstrate in your E5 campaign is marketing, meaning we're talking about the prospect. We're working with the prospect's psychology, their wants, their emotions, their beliefs, their feelings, etc. Only 25% of your entire E5 campaign is what we would call quote unquote selling. And I put this in quotes because for an E5 campaign, this portion of the campaign is really just the presentation of your offer, what we call a SIN offer, which you're going to learn how to put together. So only 25% of your campaign is actually talking about your product or service. Only that 25% is you demonstrating what's in your product and all the benefits, the features, the advantages, the price, the terms, the guarantee, the bonuses, all of that stuff, which again, you're going to learn how to put together to create your own SIN offer. The overwhelming majority of your campaign, the overwhelming majority of everything that we're going to be saying, showing, demonstrating, and putting out in front of the prospect is designed to create demand for your product or service before we ever even talk about it. So the only time in an E5 campaign that you are actually talking about the product or service is in that 25%. Everything prior to that, as you're about to see, is building demand. And we build demand for your product or service by talking about what's called your unique mechanism. The unique mechanism is really the unique way that your product or service delivers the result that you are promising. So, right, you understand that prospects, that people buy products and services for the results, for the outcome, for the transformation, for the change. People don't buy products and services for products and services themselves. They buy those products and services for what those products or services can do for them. Today, one of the most essential pieces to having a successful marketing campaign is that you demonstrate how your product or service uniquely delivers that result. Let me say that again, how your product or service uniquely delivers that result. That's what we call your unique mechanism. I'm going to show you the different types and how to find yours and all of that as we continue engineering your E5 campaign. For now, I just want you to understand that 75%, the biggest chunk of your E5 campaign is marketing. It's not about your product or service. It's actually creating the demand for your prospect to want to buy, to be excited to buy, and only 25% is actual selling, or again, offer presentation. Now with that, let me show you the 5 components of an E5 campaign, and I'm going to break each one down for you so you know what it's doing, its role, the objective, and why we use it. Okay, so here are the 5 components of an E5 campaign. We're obviously going to be drilling extremely deep into each of these and assembling each of these pieces for your own campaign. I want you to understand what each does as part of this campaign. So the first piece all the way over here to the left is what we call the big marketing idea. And the big marketing idea is here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is get attention. A big marketing idea, as you're going to learn, is a unique type of idea because it's intellectually interesting and it is emotionally compelling. And so it speaks to both your prospect's heart as well as your prospect's head. Now, one of the things that you're going to learn is that the big marketing idea introduces a primary promise, PP, primary promise, big overarching change, a big benefit, what the big result, outcome, benefit that your prospect most desires, that they most want from your type of product or service. It introduces that promise, makes that promise, and it shows how that promise can be delivered by what we call your unique mechanism, right? So your unique way, your product or service's unique way of delivering that result. And we wrap it in this intellectually interesting and emotionally compelling idea. Like I said, the entire purpose of the big marketing idea is for you to stand out, for you to get attention, for you to be able to separate yourself from all of the noise amongst your competitors. The other tremendous benefit of using a big marketing idea, instead of simply an aggressive, hyped up, promise-based hook or something like that, is that big ideas tend to be much more compliant with platforms like Facebook and Google and YouTube and so on, because they're not built on these hyperbolic, exaggerated claims. And so that's the first piece of an E5 campaign, is this big idea. We then turn that big idea into a headline, right? So this big idea, which is emotionally compelling and intellectually interesting, which introduces a primary promise of result, of outcome, of change, of transformation, which is delivered by a unique mechanism. We develop that idea, and then we turn it into a simple headline. That is to get attention. Then you've got what's called your campaign lead. And this is the first 350 to 800 words of your campaign. Now, it's important for you to understand that every marketing campaign, really every piece of information, whether it was a news article, whether it's a blog post, whether it's an email, whether it's a VSL, a webinar, long-form sales letter, does not matter. Every piece of content has a lead. Every piece of content has a first 300 words or 400 words or 200 words or 600 words, whatever it may be. Whether that lead is effective, which I'll explain in just a second, or not, it all depends on how that lead is put together. You have a lead regardless. It can be good or it can be wildly terrible. It can be boring, it could be ineffective, it can be dull, it can be unbelievable, or it can be wildly effective. For us, the lead, and I'm going to give you a simple system to follow to put together your lead. The entire purpose of the lead is to turn that attention into engagement. So we take your prospects' attention. We got their interest over here with the big marketing idea in your headline. Now we're going to turn that interest into engagement. And the way to really look at this right here is that this is the elevator pitch for your unique mechanism. So I told you that the unique mechanism is the way that your product or service delivers the result, is the reason why your product or service is able to deliver the result that the prospect wants. And so in the first 350 to 800 words, your lead, all we're doing is teasing out the benefits of the unique mechanism. We're restating the unique mechanism in the primary promise, and then we're giving additional benefits. And all we are trying to do here, all we're doing here, is we are really solidifying that emotional sale, so to speak. We're really getting prospects by the end of your lead to say, this sounds amazing, this sounds perfect. Now show me that it will work, and show me that it will work for me. That's all we are trying to do here. That's the only reason this lead exists, and you're going to learn the exact structure to do that. Now, I want to fast forward for 1 second over here to the campaign thesis. Now, the campaign thesis is the one belief that your prospects need to have by the time we're done with the marketing portion, so that when we present them with your SIN offer, they are eager, excited, and ready to buy. This one belief entails your believing that the unique mechanism is the best way for your prospect to experience the primary promise. Again, you're going to learn all of this in detail, all the nuances. We're going to be putting this together for you. I just want you to understand for right here, what we're doing before we go into the offer is we are establishing the one belief, which you'll understand how to determine, the one belief that your prospects need to have in order to buy. This is that one thing that we want your prospects to accept and believe, so that when we present the offer, they are ready to buy. And what I want you to understand with the E5 campaign is that we're getting buy-in on your unique mechanism. We're not talking about the product until we get to this portion of your campaign. So this portion is where we're talking about your product or service. This portion over here is where we are talking about your unique mechanism. And so you'll understand how powerful that is as we go through and build this out for you. But so the thing is, right, we're not talking about your product. We're not doing a sales pitch. We're not presenting a hardcore pitch for your product or service throughout the majority of your campaign. We're educating in a certain way on the unique mechanism and your unique mechanism, the unique mechanism in your product or service. And we're getting buy-in on how and why that unique mechanism is the best way for your prospect to experience the result that they want. And we do this through what we call EBM content, or education-based marketing content. And you're going to learn a system for putting this together called CPB chunks. These are little chunks of content, chunks of content that add up, right? 1 chunk, 2 chunks, 3 chunks, 4 chunks, that take your prospects from this engagement and lead them to accept this thesis. Lead them to accept this thesis, right? Because in essence, once we are getting them bought in on your unique mechanism, on how and why your product is able to uniquely deliver the result to them that they want better, faster, more effectively, more efficiently than anything else on the market, they now want, by this point right here, by the campaign thesis, they now want your unique mechanism. That's when we transition into your SIN offer, which is a unique type of offer. And this is the only place that they can get the unique mechanism. So everything that we've done here up to this point in this 75% was designed to get them to want the unique mechanism. And we're able to do it without talking about your product or service, so that their sales filter is low, because we're not pitching a product or service. We're not making claims about a product or service. We're educating your prospect on a new and unique way for them to experience the result that they want, the outcome that they want. And we're using a special type of content that leads them to accept that your unique mechanism that you're teaching them, that you're talking to them about, is the best solution for their needs. The beauty is that your product, your service, your offer is the only place that they can get the unique mechanism. So by the time we reach this point and they want the unique mechanism, you've created an all roads lead to you type of marketing message, meaning that they can't go anywhere else to get this unique mechanism. They can't go to Google and find it anywhere else. They can't go to Amazon and find it anywhere else. They can't go to YouTube and find it anywhere else. The only place that they can get this unique mechanism is with your product or service. And so, see, I want you to understand the power of this type of campaign. It's incredible because of a few things. Number one is that we are not selling, we're educating. We just happen to be educating in a unique way that leads your prospects to want your product or services unique mechanism. And once they want your products or services unique mechanism, you've got them, because the only place that they can get it, the only place that they can use it, the only place that they can pay for it is with you. Is by taking advantage of your offer. So we're using education-based content to deliver value, right? Not within a pitch, building demand for your product or service, and perfectly setting up the sale. So you heard me say before that the job of marketing is to make selling superfluous. The job of marketing is to make selling just a natural extension, a natural part of what you're doing. Well, when you use an E5 campaign, when you present your offer, your prospects are going to be grateful that you put together this offer for them. They're going to be grateful for the opportunity to buy because of how you've demonstrated to them, you've educated them on a new and different way that they can experience the benefit, the promise, the outcome, the result, the transformation that they want. And you did it with education, not a hardcore sales pitch. And so they're grateful for the opportunity to buy, which is why you will generate sales at a tremendous, tremendous rate. And so there you go. That is a big, broad overview of what an E5 campaign looks like, what an E5 campaign is made up of, what each of those serve. Now we're going to begin putting that together. And so with that, go on to the next lesson.